Welcome to next episode of Global Woman Empowerment Program, Women and Success. I'm your host Rose Ravani, and it's my privilege to present this episode of a Global Woman Empowerment Program alongside my colleague Juicy Kersey, Melissa Ryan, and Veronica White. Together we are on a mission to empower women globally and encourage them to dream big and take the necessary steps to achieve those dreams. In this episode, we will delve into the theme of success and explore how women can define and achieve success on their own terms. We will hear from our two inspiring guest speakers, Emily Gower and Antoinette Pellegrini, who have overcome obstacles and achieved remarkable success in their lives and careers. Their stories will serve as a source of inspiration and empowerment for women everywhere, reminding them that with determination, perseverance, and support, anything is possible. Throughout the program, we will also provide practical tips and advice on how women can set goals, overcome our challenges, and navigate the path to success. We believe that by equipping women with the tools and resources they need to succeed, we can create a more equitable and inclusive world for all. So join us on this journey of empowerment and inspiration as we celebrate the power of potential of women around the world. Together we can build a future where every woman has the opportunity to thrive and succeed. So Juicy, it's lovely to have you with us today. What are some of the highlights that you would like to share with us today?
Well, Rose, ladies, I'd love to share that this week I've been super busy. Preparing obviously for our Global Women Gala event, which is on Saturday the 1st of June. Excited to see registrations and confirmations coming through, and also the behind the scenes planning. As you know, with any event there's so many things to do, so I've been really busy and enjoying every minute of it because that's what I love to do, events. And this is going to be amazing, so
Wonderful.
I'm looking forward to it, ladies. Yes. And looking forward to a little dance on the dance floor with you all.
Yes, absolutely. So can you give us a little bit of roughly idea? I think it would be good for our viewers to know that what they would be expecting for that night.
Expectation is going to be high because we set high standards. It's going to be inspiration. We've got some lovely motivational guest speakers as well that are coming to share some really good stuff that I think, you know, the audience will love. We've got someone singing, Peter Nichols. He has been in musicals, so he's actually coming to perform. We've got a fashion parade, we've got lovely food, the Rendezvous always prepare beautiful meals for us, and dancing. We've got DJ Marina Farr who's coming. She's so excited and she's got a wonderful song list prepared for us to really get down on the dance floor, girls, and start to dance. We haven't danced for a while, so it's going to be fun. So get those stilettos out of your closet and let's go. But it's going to be a great night, we promise you that.
Wonderful. Yeah, I think it's going to be a great night. We are looking forward to be celebrating on that night the launch of the Global Woman Peace Foundation. And if you haven't got your tickets yet, please go to Global Woman Peace Foundation website or globalwomanempowerment.com to get your tickets. Early bird is still there, but it will be finishing soon on Monday. However, by the time you will see our recording or our show, you will still have time to actually go there and get your tickets. So we do encourage you to go and get your tickets and be part of this amazing night together. Let's celebrate youth, let's celebrate women, and let's celebrate empowerment. So ladies, yes, Melissa, so what were some of the highlights from you? What have you been up to?
Yeah, so coming off the back of the gala, I think I'm loving the attention that it's bringing, and a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of followers of mine, they're all jumping on board and saying, hey, can I come? Can I jump on your table? And also, can I bring some friends, which is amazing. And so I'm really looking forward to having them come along and be inspired, and we're already inspiring them. So I think for them to come and meet us and be a part of that is really a highlight for them. And I'm looking forward of nurturing them and bringing them along.
Yes.
The other thing that's happened this week is it's been a huge week of growth for me. Lessons come in life, and for me, I've had so many vulnerable conversations this week. It started with one, had a bit of a family crisis, which has kind of forced me to have those vulnerable conversations, and it's been one after the other, and it's been uncomfortable, but it's also been eye-opening and empowering as well. So it's shown up at a really good time in my life, and I think I'm looking forward to where that will take me. And one of the lessons, I started to read the 4 Agreements and how we assume that when someone says something, or they send us a text message, or you know, or they say something or they do something, that we make assumptions about what that means. And so instead of assuming that we know what that means, it's hang on a second, can we just take it for what it means, right? Like as in what it is, as opposed to what we tell the stories to ourselves that it could mean. So for me, the week has been amazing, but then one of the incredible things is, you know, I tell you I go to a business network every Friday, and I wrote the most empowering pitch that brought an applause to the whole room, and I won the little trophy, like weekly trophy.
Wonderful. Congratulations.
So it just shows you that once these challenges come to you at the right time, and
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
You talked about vulnerability and how, you know, sometimes people hold back and they don't want to show that side of their human, because we're all human. We all have got our ups and downs, right? And sometimes if you look at it, that comes from a place of courage and power to talk about sometimes some of the topics that people would not normally talk about. And if you talk about your, you know, something that comes from your heart and you're vulnerable in that moment, I think that's the piece of gold that you share with another human being. And as women, as empowering women, we need to provide that space for other women to open up and actually talk about those vulnerability, talk about their upside downs, because we are women can understand each other really well, as much as men also understand. But I think when we look at each other, I think we can understand each other well, but also at the same time, we can provide that space for them to open and empower them, right? And that's basically our show is about, to be open, to be vulnerable, to have the courage to talk about something that's important for you, and share it with people who value, who you trust, and who you love, and who you adore, because that's where your vulnerability opens up, and this is where you can actually talk about the truth of you.
Oh, absolutely. And that vulnerability breeds courage. You know, it brings courage. It just means that, okay, if I can be vulnerable in this moment, it means that moving forward that I'm able to be vulnerable. And what's the worst thing that can happen? You know, can I handle it? Is something going to change, or am I going to be in the same position? So,
and the amount of what you can handle actually directly connected to the success we can have in our life, which brings us to the topic of our today's conversation.
Yes. Yep. Absolutely. Great topic. I think I love that side of it, when sometimes you don't expect what the conversation will take you, but then the vulnerability, the truth comes out, and you can just discuss about that. And I think that's the courage and determination that it takes to talk about those stuff. And I think it's great. So I do encourage women to, you know, be just themselves and talk about those issues when they feel safe to share it with their, you know, friends, people who trust, their families, because there is no point holding it back, and then, you know, it creates other, you know, challenges in life. But be less open and vulnerable, and trust that process when it naturally comes to you.
Yeah, and it can bring people together. You know,
absolutely. It gets you close to people who actually understands you.
Yes. Absolutely.
And we did have a kind of that experience lately, didn't we, ladies? We did have that type of, and you can see the feeling that you connect with other human being, and I encourage that, and I think it's great. Yeah. Yep. The other point, Melissa, you mentioned was about the, you know, sometimes when we talk to each other through text messages or emails, and sometimes you read it and say, oh, what is this supposed to mean? But consider it as what it is. And sometimes it's good to go and deepen down, but also it's good to get the next step and go actually, you know, make that effort to call back or to reply to the text, to reply to the emails, and say, let's have a chat. You know, I think, and we ladies, we try to communicate as much as we can, but also we encourage that, you know, sometimes we just don't leave everything at the last minute. Let's talk about it straightforward. Let's bring it on the table. Let's discuss it, and let's open up and talk about what it is that we can actually take the next section and the next move, because that way the communication is clear, we are all on the same page, and then we will be much more connected with each other moving forward.
And that's actually, you know, if you take that a step further, you know, in teams, any team out there in all organisations, if they were able to embrace that imagine how much more productivity they would have.
Absolutely. And
And-
communication leads to productivity.
Absolutely.
Communication leads to engagement. Communication leads to trust. So why not to establish that trust and foundation from the beginning? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wonderful.
Well done.
Thank you so much, Melissa, for sharing your
Thank
insight.
you,
It was
Rose.
lovely. So what about you, Veronica? What's your highlight so far for last week?
Well, my highlight was also preparing for the gala and connecting with women who are getting ready and asking me what dresses they can wear.
That's important. Really important.
So
Yes.
we can update. It's lawn dresses, but it's cocktail lawn dresses. So anything you would like to be, bright and shine on the night, and it's going to be an amazing night. So we do talk with sponsors, exhibitors, and all other entertainment. It's going to be a really great night, and Josie definitely puts lots of effort into that.
Absolutely.
That's for sure. We are very grateful.
We are very grateful for your
Yeah.
work, yes.
Yes.
As part of this program, and I'm part of the Global Woman Peace Foundation, I would like to thank all my team, all of you, and also especially Juicy again for her effort, because from the beginning up to now, she has actually handled all those, things that's required for organizing, and organizing an event is not easy. But also these other two lovely women has been very supportive and engaged during this process. So I appreciate, ladies, for your effort and your help so far. So it was lovely to see you both being very proactive in this process. So I really,
Yeah, it's
admire
great.
that. Thank you.
And on the other note, so what we last week I went to Gold Coast for a few days, and then it was for psychology event and the marketing event as well. We're trying to scale up our clinic, our business, so that was very big thing. And on the way back, I'm not a very good flyer. That was not a great day to fly. So it was storm in Gold Coast.
Oh, no.
And I don't like to fly even in the good weather. So, but the lovely couple who travelled to Melbourne on the same day, they really encouraged me to still take that flight, because I really contemplated to stay a little bit longer. Yeah, I made it. So yeah,
Well done. You're here. You're
that was
here.
eventful for me.
That's good. Yeah, good timing. Good timing. Thank you. So, Veronica, do you prefer to fly or actually travel by plane, or do you like traveling both? Sometimes people travel by car. Which one is your preferences?
Well, I've been always, just avid traveler. I love traveling, but a few years ago I just developed that fear of flight. So that's changed my dynamic of my traveling, and perhaps maybe COVID times have affected, or I don't know what, but from flying all the time, I actually, fly if I have to.
Yeah.
Is that the first flight since COVID?
No, I had flights. I still do it regardless. As we spoke, even if you're scared, you still do it. You be courageous, and you keep doing it. You keep repeating it. I'm getting better. Yeah, so I'm not completely
That's
shaking
great.
on the plane.
You're facing your courage. You're facing your fear.
Yes,
right?
that's
So,
right.
courage.
Well done.
Wonderful. That's great. Thanks, Veronica, for sharing your highlights about last week. And I'm sure we all have been busy doing different things, which is lovely. Before we proceed with our first guest speaker, let's hear from our panelist, Juicy Kersey. She will share her expertise on the power of courage and determination to reach their full potential. Thank you, Juicy.
Thanks, Rose. My topic today is about courage and determination. So, courage and determination are the driving forces behind reaching your full potential. They are the essential ingredients that propel us forward, even at times in the face of adversity, and they empower us to push beyond our limits. When we possess courage, we are able to confront our fears and take risks that lead to growth and success. It is with courage that we step out of our comfort zones, and it is with courage that we embrace new challenges that allow us to discover our true and unique capabilities. The other driving force is determination. Determination is the unwavering resolve to achieve our goals. Determination propels us forward no matter what the obstacles may be or the obstacles we may encounter. It is the fuel that keeps us going when the going gets tough and our vision is a little blurred. With determination, we're able to persevere through setbacks and failures, learning from them and becoming stronger in the process. Determination is the key to unlocking our full potential and achieving greatness within. Together, courage and determination form a powerful combination that propels us in the direction of our goals. They equip us with strength to overcome self-doubt and face external challenges. And they inspire us to keep pushing forward, even when the path ahead seems daunting. With courage and determination, there is no limit to what we can achieve. And in conclusion, the power of courage and determination to reach our full potential cannot be overstated. They are the key driving forces behind success, allowing us to push beyond our limits and achieve greatness. By cultivating courage and determination in our lives, we can unlock our full potential and accomplish things that we never thought possible. So dare to be courageous, stay determined, and never give up on your dreams.
As we proceed with the next section of our program, I would like Melissa to share her expertise on the power of healthy mindset and well-being to reach your full potential. Thanks, Melissa.
A healthy mindset and well-being are essential factors in reaching our full potential. They form the foundation upon which we build our goals, our dreams, and our aspirations. A healthy mindset is characterised by positive thinking, resilience, and a belief in one's abilities. It allows us to approach challenges with optimism, determination, and enabling us to overcome obstacles and setbacks that may come our way. Well-being, on the other hand, encompasses both our physical and mental health. When we prioritise our well-being, we are better able to cope with stress, maintain a positive outlook on life, and make informed decisions that align with our goals. Physical health, including regular exercise, proper nutrition, and adequate rest, contributes to our overall well-being and has a direct impact on our ability to perform at our best. Together, a healthy mindset and well-being create a strong foundation for personal growth and development. They enable us to manage stress effectively, stay focused on our goals, and maintain a positive attitude even in challenging circumstances. Additionally, they enhance our resilience, allowing us to bounce back or bounce forward from setbacks stronger than before. To reach our full potential, it is crucial to prioritise our mental and physical health. This means taking care of ourselves holistically, including our thoughts, our emotions, and our physical bodies. By cultivating a healthy mindset and prioritising our well-being, we can unlock our full potential and achieve success in all areas of our lives.
At this stage of the program, I would like to introduce you to Emily Gore, an inspirational 12-time published author and speaker. So Emily, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
Thank you for accepting an invitation to come along and have an interview with us today.
You're most welcome. I'm so deeply inspired by what you all do and standing for what women are capable of. I'm always on board for that. So I'm very, very inspired and very privileged to be here as well. So thank you.
Wonderful, thank you. And I understand you're coming from Brisbane?
Yeah, I live about halfway between Brisbane and Gold Coast.
Wonderful. So as you know, about part of the process, the panel and myself, we have got some questions that we would like to ask you.
Perfect.
My first questions would be, what inspired you to pursue a career as an inspirational writer, author, and also speaker? And how do you motivate to inspire others?
I think that's a really great question. So the very short answer to that is I really love what I do. And I can feel that in all of you as well. I think it's really a privilege to be able to do something that you love. But my backstory, because there's always a backstory, is that nearly 20 years ago I went through what we would call like near suicidal depression. So I was struggling with self-worth and I was wondering, like, what am I going to do with my life? I was very intimidated by this idea of figuring this out for myself. So I did think about ending it all, but when I was laying on the floor, I remember this moment so clearly, and I call it like a destiny-defining moment for me. Because deep down, when I felt like I had no job, I had $2 to my name, had no career path, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was really raw, very depressed. And I remember
sensing loneliness.
I was
and
so
sad.
yeah, I was. And you know, I've always had quite good people around me, but because I was so deep, I guess, in myself, it was like I was sort of disconnected. I'd started to withdraw quite deeply. And it actually reminds me of a phrase I heard. They say depressed is deep rest. And I love that expression because that's actually in hindsight, that's how it felt for me.
Yeah.
So I'd reached this point where I'm laying on the floor. I thought, I don't want to do this anymore. And then I think the light shone from within, and I thought, I don't really believe that we're here to suffer. I don't really believe that life is supposed to be so hard, and yet it is for so many. And so I made a decision. It was a line in the sand moment. I am going to do absolutely everything I can to live an amazing life. And that was my turning point. And for me, that was about reconnecting with my purpose, because I believe it is fundamental to any kind of success. Your heart has to be in it, because then the best of you comes out. Like it's who you are, and it's how you shine.
Yeah.
And so I reconnected with my love of writing and self-development, which of course I'm crazy about. And I started my life, and it transformed fast once I made that decision. So
You also talk about the power of decision. You mentioned that when you went to that lowest moment and then you made a decision,
Yes.
right? So how important is that sometimes we have to make a decision to change our
Absolutely.
life, right?
Yes.
There's a saying about Tony Robbins. He says that the moment that the moment that you make decision, it reshapes your destiny. It
Correct.
reshapes your life, because that's the turning point that you feel that you have been the lowest, and you make that decision. And it is important in life sometimes to be concrete and know what you want to do and make that decision.
Yes.
Because the progress is through decision, right? And sometimes we hold ourselves back to make that decision.
yeah.
And I think as a woman, we need to have that courage to make decision and go to next step and make something happen.
Yes,
right?
and be a little bit bolder. I think
Yes.
generally speaking, women have the, I don't know where that comes from. It's I've got to be like a good girl somehow. I've got to be like quiet and go. I really like it when women are daring and bold and they go and do something. I go, oh, I love that, because it gives me courage and permission. And you were talking so beautifully about courage. It actually ignites it immediately in others. Go, well, she can do that. I kind of want to do that too. And then it rubs off on the people around you. And so, I mean, yes, absolutely. So
Yeah.
important.
Yep. And then making those decisions in a time where not under pressure, under stress. It's like take yourself out of that, whatever's going on for you in your life, similar to you,
Yes.
having that reflection time, because when we're in a calmer state, we'll make better decisions, because we can really,
Correct.
really connect with our purpose and our, who we are as a woman. I'm going to say that
Yes,
for here, but as a
absolutely.
human being, and then, reflect and go, okay, what is the next decision that I'm going to make that's going to make a difference and change my life?
Absolutely. And it's quite powerful. I really do believe that life, universe, God, however you define that, responds to us. Like we're never alone. Like we're never alone in this universe. We're so guided and held, and we're just being constantly, I think, caressed almost by life. But sometimes we're just not listening to the signs, and then we get into really, really bad spots in our life and that are really challenging, and it's sometimes because we weren't listening, but we're never really alone. And so it's important to have that that support, but to also just realize that you're just never in this on your own.
Yeah, well, it's similar. Earlier I was talking about how I had a family crisis, and often I feel like I'm alone because I live away from my family, my best friends, things like that. And ironically, in those moments, it's when people just, come around you and help you out, whether it's to bring a meal or whatever it is for that week. And it was just this last week, and it was like, wow, I actually really do have people around me to support me in my, in my hardest time.
and
my
they care
journey.
about you. Yes.
Yeah, so it's almost like and then that inspired me, not even inspired, but helped me be able to reach out for help in other areas. So it's been.
No, I love that.
So
I have a rule that I don't suffer in silence. And it's like, don't suffer in silence. So it's like my golden rule is I'm not allowed to struggle with something for more than 24 hours before I have to ask somebody for help. So if it's bugging me and bugging me and bugging me and bugging me, my old habit Emily 1.0, she was awesome.
I love that.
I know. Herself would stew over things, so anxious. Like I do have a bit of a disposition towards being quite anxious over things. I think we can probably all relate to that.
Yeah.
And then I'd make a big deal out of it. I was like, but I didn't really have the self-worth to put a voice to that, which, you gave myself goosebumps. But I didn't have the self-worth to ask. And now I'm really good at delegating. I'm really good. I'm so proud of myself for that, because of how long it took me to go, I don't really want to open this jar and just hand it to my man, And I say that like that sounds a bit feminist or whatever. But it's just, it's about receiving support and just realizing you don't have to do it on your own. It doesn't make you weak. So we're kind of, I think, as women, sometimes caught between this weird paradox Like I still want to be feminine at my core, at least I'm definitely speaking for myself. I
Yeah.
still want to be feminine at my core, but I want to be tough and strong at the same time. It's like, how do I do that?
So Emily, let's fast forward from when you were 19 to now. Obviously you've learnt a lot of things along the way, and obviously there's a message of inspiration in what you shared with us just now. Overcoming obviously depression, anxiety, things like that. So can I just ask then, can you share some of the key messages or themes within your writing and speaking engagements that resonate with your audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So my number one big message that just keeps emerging and emerging and emerging over the years is that I think every single human being has a purpose here. So it's so easy to look out at the world, like there's 8 billion plus people on the planet. It's so easy to say, well, I don't matter, or I'm insignificant somehow, or to be really hard on yourself about, gosh, anything. Like we all have a list inside our head of the things that we think need changing about who we are, or something that I failed at. And so when I'm sharing a message, I'm sharing you have a purpose to fulfill that comes from somewhere beyond your human self. It comes from the soul, it comes from your heart, somewhere deep inside you, something you feel that you were born to do, that you feel compelled to do. And I firmly believe the world needs that. And we're so unique. I mean, look at us, like 5 beautiful women sitting at the table, so beautifully different to one another with a slightly different mission on the planet. We're all necessary. And so my biggest message is that we all have a purpose, that you have something that you were born to do. You might even say you were sent here to do it, or you came here to do that. And I believe that when we get ignited with that deep purpose, like that deep, deep sense of purpose, this is who I am, that's when we find our path and our place in the world. And you have the courage then, we're talking about courage, you have the courage then to create a life that is extraordinary. I mean, I look back and I realize that my depression was partly because I was never going to settle. It was almost like a message from my higher self saying, you're not here for something ordinary. You're not here for a cookie cutter life. You're here for an extraordinary life. And I believe that. My spirit, my soul is very wild and very free. And I think everybody has that inside of them. So I believe that we're put here with a purpose. I believe that we have something that is unique and meaningful to us that we want to devote our life to, that we want to do, whether that's inside a career or it's outside a career. And the discovery of that and then leaning into that, living into your purpose boldly, I think may be the most important thing that we can do if you want to have a meaningful life. So for me, it just keeps coming back like this resounding truth that we're born with purpose. And purpose is how we find our confidence. And not many people in my life believe me when I tell them that I used to be very, very shy. I still deep down, I'm a writer, I'm a little bit of a hermit, deep, deep down. I say I'm an extroverted introvert. So I learned to be extroverted over time, but it's because I fell in love with self-development writing, and I fell in love with the human spirit and just how much we're capable of, that I found my confidence in that. So even when I feel nervous, I feel this calling in me saying, you will rise up, like your higher self will get behind your human self and say, you have got this, like you cannot not do this, because if you don't do this, you're going to regret this at the end of your life. Like I live from that space every day of my life. It's not always easy. It's just very bossy, my soul. You go and get on that TV show, go do that thing, you know. But I just live that way because that's what I want. I promised it to myself, but I also want to,
so focused on your purpose, you know,
100%.
like, because when you are clear on your purpose,
yes,
no matter what's going on in your life, you can
come back
feel
to it.
like you're going to give up, but then it's
Absolutely.
like, no, hang on,
This is why I
remember
started.
my purpose.
Absolutely.
This is why I need to keep getting up
Yes.
and going each day.
And so it's not just, I think one of the misconceptions people have about purpose is that you find it and then like the rest of your life is spent fulfilling it. I think that you journey into deeper levels and layers of your purpose as you grow. How you express that purpose changes and morphs and evolves. I've written lots of books, like tried different messages, launched a company, done lots of programs, different things. So you also playing with like, well, how am I going to fulfill that? What does that look like for me?
I kind of think our purpose finds us. And
think
then
there's
we
truth in
become
that too.
aware of our
Yeah.
purpose.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
As I say, you're not in this life alone. So is there, people say, "Wow, I don't know what my purpose is." I'm like, "Have you asked whoever or whatever? Have you asked yourself, your deeper, higher self, and just let it find you?" Because I mean, I was my beautiful mum. I love my mum so much. She's an extraordinary woman. I'm telling you, she's amazing. She's 75. She just published her first book.
Oh,
That's inspiring.
fantastic.
She's
Well
really,
done. I feel like
she's
helping
really
her.
amazing. She'll love that piece. She's she's so extraordinary. But what's even more beautiful is that when I was in the womb and my sister was already born, my mom, she loved being a mom. Big part of her purpose on this planet was to raise her kids. She really believed in our greatness, and she still does. She's one of my biggest supporters today and one of my closest friends. But she was basically reading to me when I was in the womb. And so we're talking like 3-4 hours a day, the whole pregnancy. So here's me like floating around in there, feeling the vibration and the love that was in her words. And what's interesting is that my sister, who was already born, went in a totally different direction. She's a computer gamer and coder. She's the scientific mathematic, and she's incredible. But I got impacted with the words, and so I came out of the womb like I have to write. Like I have a compulsion to write. Apparently, when I was in the high chair, I was so cute, like white hair when I was little. I was in the high chair and I would get like the food and put my fingers in it and try to like write on the wall. I'm wired that way. So it is interesting. We say, well, it's not in the moment of depression where I found my purpose, it's where I remembered my purpose. It was already there.
Yeah.
And I don't think you suddenly, oh, there it is, and it wasn't there all along.
No.
I think it's there all along.
It's coming to awareness of
Absolutely.
it. Yeah, love it. Well done.
And also giving yourself that permission to hear that voice and know what is that, because sometimes we don't give ourselves the permission or the time to hear that, right? Because we're always doing something else, whether it's a family or children or your work. And sometimes it is important to just let that shine through you, speak to you, and allow that voice to define your purpose and take action. Because this is where then who you are as a person. Like a good example I shared with this lady was launching the Global Woman Empowerment. That was a voice, that was a passion and purpose in life that we all have, and we want to create this. Now our next project is the Woman Peace Foundation. This is also a mission. It's a voice in our head, in my head, to say, you know what, we want to do something in this earth, in this planet. And it's the voice that when you wake up in the morning, you have a mission to do. It's not about work, it's about mission. It's not about 9 to 5. It's about your whole life and through your whole purpose and your heart that you want to put into it and achieve what you want to do and have an impact and have a positive influence to another human being. That's what we do.
And you get to this level of depth where you go, this is not just something that I do, it's who I am. Like I'm not Emily if I'm not a writer. Those two things are inseparable. I mean, I love writing so much, like maybe too much. So starting to get RSI. But I love it so much that I can't not do it. So it's who I am, and it becomes your healing remedy in a lot of ways, because when things are not working out, I mean, I used to write when I'd come out of breakups. Yeah, it's a good time to do it. Channel that pain.
Look at Taylor Swift. Just
Yeah, right. Oh.
I have some writing to do.
I've got another book coming or another song. Touche. But I also found myself in that, and so I used it as a healing, and now I use it because I love the wisdom, the messages, the beautiful words. Sometimes I go, where does that come from? And all I have is the first sentence in my mind, and it pops in like I call it like a soul inbox. It's like ding ding, oh, she's free, and they drop an idea in, and all I know is the first sentence or the title of the book, and then everything it's a journey of discovery. Like I wonder what's going to come out of that. But I love it so much that it has transformed me over the last nearly 20 years now.
Veronica, so what's your questions to Emily?
Well, my question to Emily would be, in what way do you engage with audience during when you create meaningful and impactful experience during your speaking engagements?
Well, my general rule of thumb when it comes to doing talks and even coming in interviews is just to speak from the heart and to trust in that. I think sometimes we think, well, I have to be very, very structured, and there are amazing speakers that do that. But for me, I love to connect with the energy in the room. Like who do I feel? Like what am I sensing in this room? And to speak from my heart. So every time whether it's even like on a webinar and I run programs online, or whether I'm on stage or in a podcast, I'm just trusting that the right message will come through, And I think that's probably just years and years and years of experience in writing, but it's about allowing what is in me to come out. And we've talked a lot about the voice, and we've talked a lot about courage, and it's having like just being okay being in that space and trusting that you will know like what to do, you'll know what to say. And so a lot of my speaking is to partly to share my story. Definitely I've shared my story in lots of different platforms because it inspires other people, but also just to share what can I share from the depths of my heart and from my life experience that I feel would make a really big difference to the person who is listening, because I do what I do because I love to write. And I love self-development, but I genuinely believe in the potential in all of us. Like I absolutely believe that we really do. We have so much more inside of us than we believe that we do. And absolutely knowing your purpose on this planet is absolutely, I think, this first stepping stone to that. And so some people say, well, you know, if I was going to create an extraordinary life, you know, where do I start? Start with what you're here to do, because that's where you find like who you are, and then from there you can build. You can decide what kind of life you want. You can build a career around it.
And is there something for people, you know, who don't probably they're like born writers? Is there something you can offer them?
I absolutely
to explore,
can.
you know, where
So
they
of
can
course I am a writer myself. So I love to journal. Journaling is a really big part of myself help practice, I suppose. In fact, I've nearly written 100,000 words just this year. That's a lot. I mean, I digitally journal because my hand gets really sore. I can type faster than I can handwrite. So I journal a lot. And I have a lot of people who say to me, well, I want to journal, but I have absolutely no idea where to start. What do I do? And they feel almost confronted by the blank page. And so what we've done, this is my first journal in the series, we created a Find Your Purpose journal. So the Find Your Purpose journal is a full guided experience, has 2 parts in it, and it guides you all the way through the journey of knowing your purpose. So the first part asks you deep questions that you can reflect on. You could do 1 question per day. There's visual exercises where you get the essence of your purpose. And the second part of the journal, you write your purpose statement. So about 2015, I put a formula together to help people to try to articulate. They can sort of feel what their purpose is, but they can't kind of get it into words. So I gave myself goosebumps because I love that. That's what I live for. So that's what the journal is for, is to help people with that process. And it's guided. Yeah, I know. Look at the shine on that. So it is very, very beautiful. We had to have some sparkle, and even things like being able to turn it, like you can turn the pages all the way over, so you can write on the left-hand side, things like that. So this is the first in a series of journals to help people to master their life. You know, to start somewhere. I don't know where to start. Start with your purpose. So.
I think what you said is very important. Sometimes we have so many ideas, so many things, but we can't articulate what is our purpose. So,
And then we need that in order to have a sense of direction. Like, oh, okay, what am I going to do? And you know, I know people who jumped between 7 different degrees. Like they're trying and testing, and 10 years later, like, I don't really feel like in some way I'm closer to where I want to be. So I try to close that gap, like, and try to just do whatever I can and create whatever I can from my heart and soul to support others to do what they want to do and find out who they are. So
That's wonderful. So where can viewers can find this?
Yes, so you can order it, and everything is in there. So if you want to order 1 copy or you want to order 2, you can go to findyourpurposejournal.com. So,
Wonderful.
and we'll
Actually,
ship it to you.
ladies, we can get a copy of that one. That would be something that we would like to do. And also for our viewers, if you would like to, you know, journal your ideas, your events, your purpose, your action, what you want to achieve, I think that will be a good start of using that journal and moving forward with your life, with your career, and also with your purpose in life. So, yeah, wonderful.
Thank you.
So, Emily, thank you so much for being here today. We really enjoyed having you here, and I believe that you're a true inspirational for other women, finding their passion, finding their purpose in life, and also serving the community in the best possible way. So thank you so much for
Thank you.
your
I'm
time.
so moved, and thank you so much for having me. I just thoroughly enjoyed our conversation.
At this stage of the program, I would like to introduce you to Antoinette Pellegrini. Antoinette is an author, educator, mindset coach, and a writing and a self-publishing consultant. She runs 2 businesses, The Thought Connection and We Inspire Books. Welcome to the show, Antoinette. It's so lovely to have you with us today.
Oh, thank you so much. And thank you for this opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity. I'm so grateful to be here, to have the opportunity to share a little bit about my author journey and about my the work that I do. And I'm very honoured to be here. You're all leaders in your field. I mean, I'm very passionate about helping women achieve their goals, to live a positive life. And I think it's wonderful what you're doing here with the Global Empowerment Group and the foundation and the gala that's coming up.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank
so
you.
that's all great. So thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you so much for being here. So my first question to you would be, can you tell us more about your journey from being an author and self-publishing consultant to also becoming an educator and a mindset coach? How do these roles intersect in your work?
Okay, thank you. Thanks for the question. I'll actually start with my author journey because I guess it all really started there. And that was, oh goodness, over 20 years ago, probably closer to 30 now. And I was in my mid-30s and I was on my spiritual journey. And I was reading books, I was attending workshops, I was going to other spiritual groups, started learning Reiki, I was doing a whole lot of things. But essentially I was a skeptic at heart too. So I was an atheist when I was 15. I thought, I rejected the church, I rejected everything. So, when I started this spiritual journey, it was a big thing for me. So all my experiences, I thought, well, if this is the way the world is and these experiences are real, then science has to be able to at least have some sort of correlation with that. Essentially I wanted proof, basically, that what I was experiencing was real. So that took me to quantum physics. And I started reading about that, and I started reading about biology, and quantum physics in particular really resonated with me because it was saying things like that we're all energy. It was saying that we're all connected, we're all one. It was the same thing I was reading about in the spiritual books. It was saying that our life exists as like a wave of possibilities, and that we create our lives from our thoughts and our feelings and our actions. And I thought that was very interesting to me, so I was driven to write about it. So I did start writing about it, but at the time I was working full-time in a corporate role in the public sector, and I was also a single mum, for 2 wonderful boys, so I didn't have a lot of spare time. But I thought, no, I'm just going to start, even if it's only 10 minutes here or an hour there, I'm going to do that. And I guess that's my first tip for success, actually. Sometimes we feel we have to wait till we have time or we clear everything out. No, just start. Start today, even if it is just for a short time. Because if you have a passion within you or a mission or something you want to achieve or a goal, just start working towards it. I think take action, that's really key. So I did that, but so finally in about 2006 I was actually ready to publish my first book, and I had no idea how to actually publish a book. And I came across someone who said he would help me do that, and he did. I published a book. It's not one of these, but he kind of took it over and just did it the way he wanted to do it. And I just felt like it wasn't even my book. And I vowed one day I'm going to redo that book the way I want to do it. And that one day was 11 years. So I guess that's my next tip, is never give up. Never give up on your dreams, no matter how long it takes. So during those 11 years though, I did do other things. I started a course in holistic counselling and mind-body medicine. I studied mindfulness and meditation. I again did a lot of reading on neuroscience and again quantum physics. So I guess I was getting myself ready for the time when I could leave my job and pursue my passion, essentially. And that was at the end of 2016. I was able to do that. And that's when I created the business, The Thought Connection. And I started work as a mindset coach and an educator. I started running workshops on mindfulness and meditation. I ran workshops on creating the life you want. Also some workshops on clearing negative beliefs from childhood, because there's so much of that we have. But the other thing I did, I actually set up a Facebook women's group, Conscious Women Connect. And with that we ran monthly development groups or development workshops. And that group's still going today.
Oh, wonderful.
And so we meet monthly for a brunch, which is lovely, just a social brunch, and then quarterly development group workshops. So it's a wonderful group. They're just like-minded women who, you know, just we empower each other, we inspire each other, and it's just wonderful to have a group like that.
That's great. I mean, it's amazing with the time that you spend writing these books and coming up with this inspirational ideas to do that. It does take time and effort to do this. And and you did mention the power of not giving up. And, you know, you don't have to be perfect to start something. You just start and
Just
become
start.
perfect on the journey.
Yeah, that's right.
And I think, you know, sometimes we women talk about being perfectionist and waiting until the right moment, all right, you know, I want to do this when I'm at this age, or I want to do this when I'm ready. But it's not so much about that. It's about getting the first step, going through that and actually achieving it, and start something from scratch. It doesn't have to be perfect at the beginning, but then the journey will take you when you become growing through that
that's
stage.
So right. That's so right. And, you know, that's certainly the case with me. Like I said, you know, I didn't want to give up, and when I was able to leave work, I finally got around to redoing the book the way I wanted to. And that was my book, Your Thoughts Matter, which is this
That
one
one,
here.
yes.
Yeah, so I finally did it, and with it I did a reflection journal and some affirmation cards. And I was really happy with that. Again, you know, it was difficult to get it published. You know, I had to try to find, there were people that wanted a lot of money. I didn't have a lot of money. So I finally found someone who could help me do that. And then I was inspired to create an anthology series. I hadn't actually started to do that, but I did that, and I did my first book, Live Your Truth, which is this one here. And after doing that, I actually thought that I could publish the books myself. I wasn't entirely happy with the whole process of you know, getting someone else to publish a book for me. I thought I could do this myself. And it was a steep learning curve, but I did that. And as a result, I actually, other people started asking me to help them self-publish. And my whole focus with all of my books is on basically self-help and motivational stories. So my anthologies are all about sharing people's stories of overcoming challenges, you know, difficulties, whether they be health or relationships or sometimes even natural disasters or just obstacles in your life and overcoming that and you know, succeeding. And when I started helping people self-publish, I felt it really needed to be motivational again and self-help. You know, it's been an amazing journey to produce all of these books, but I do want to say that when I did do the anthology series, I really want to thank the authors who contributed their stories, because Josie, you talked about courage, and I think sometimes it does take courage to share your story, and it, you know, because they are personal stories, and it's really important, and they all show that determination to really, you know, overcome their obstacles and achieve.
And I guess we go through so many cycles of life until we become who we become. And then we are in a point that we want to now take it to next step, or confident enough to take action. This is where, like, for example, we create something new. We bring something new to the table, where it's writing a book or publishing something or creating something or perhaps opening an organization or doing something great. But I think everything that happens to our life, whether it's challenging, whether it is, you know, good or bad in life, this is where the journey takes us, where we want to be, who we want to be at the end of it.
Absolutely,
right?
Absolutely. And you know, it's been an incredible journey, and I think, you know, it's interesting you said that about learning things, new things. Never stop learning something new, and don't be afraid of learning something new. That's what I found. Like when I first sort of thought to myself, oh, I can publish this. I can do the layout. I can do the editing. I can do the, organising, the printing. I can do it all. I had no idea how to do it. I had to learn everything. And then even when I got that right, I thought, okay, I know how to do that now. But then I actually put together my children's book, Sandcastles, which is this one here. And then it was a whole new set of skills that I had to learn to do that. So, yeah, never stop learning, never give up on your dreams. Yeah.
So thank you so much, Antoinette, for sharing your, insight about the question that I asked you.
Yeah.
I believe, Juicy, you might have another question for Antoinette.
I do. It's great to have you on the show, Antoinette.
Thank
it's been
you.
a long journey for you, and
It has
I've
been.
known you for some years myself,
Yeah.
so congratulations
Thank
on
you. Thank you.
your achievements. But I just want to circle back to your book, Your Thoughts Matter, because it discusses how thinking affects our health and well-being, and obviously future circumstances. Can you just share some insights on the key concepts of this book and how they resonate with a person reading the book, your audience, who
Yeah,
the book's
sure.
written for?
Your Thoughts Matter has 25 reflections and affirmations. So I call them reflections because they're short chapters, and it's all about the importance of your thoughts. It's all about empowering yourself to create the life that you want to live and to live a positive life. And the title in itself is actually quite significant because not only are thoughts important, but they actually literally create your reality. And even my subtitle, The Future You Are Creating Starts Now, I chose that because, who we are now is basically a reflection of our past, thoughts, actions, our behaviours, our beliefs. And who we are tomorrow is really, a product of what we're thinking about right now, what we're thinking, what we're doing, what we're acting. It's like having a crystal ball. We do have a crystal ball. It's our own thoughts and our feelings and the actions we take. So that's really important. And so your thoughts really do matter, and everything starts with your thoughts. But that's actually not new thinking. Buddha, back in 500 BC, said exactly that. He said, everything starts with your thoughts. You are what you think. With your thoughts, you make the world. So it's certainly not new thinking. But science and biology and quantum physics is really looking at or showing us how important it actually is. Because our thoughts are energy, as everything is energy, and it's like a wave going into the universe. And coming back at us, we're attracting like energies back to us. But even more than that, like our thoughts actually set off chemical reactions in our bodies. Release hormones like, dopamine, the happy hormone, or cortisol and adrenaline, which is the stress hormones. And as we all know, if you're under stress and for a long time and experiencing those, that can lead to physical illness, mental illness. And, it's our thoughts are kind of at the start of that process. But the important thing is with our thoughts is that we're in control, and we can change those. Sometimes people say, but I'm not in control of all the circumstances of my life. And that's true, but you're always in control of how you respond to something and how you react to something. And therein lies your power. That's quite powerful. If you accept that, it's actually very empowering. Instead of saying, that's not my fault, or I can't, there's nothing I can do about it. That's a disempowering, mindset. But, if you know that you're in control of how you respond to everything that happens, then that's an empowering position to be in. And, but sometimes our thoughts are our worst enemy. I mean, let's face it, they can be our best friend or our worst enemy. I know when I started my spiritual journey, there's a lot of talk about affirmations and fake it till you make it kind of thing. And you say things like, I'm abundant, I have plenty of money, I'm beautiful, and there's this little voice going, no, you're not, Yeah. It's that sort of inner voice that's really key, like our real beliefs about ourselves. I think Oprah actually says, I think it's a quote something like, you don't become what you want, you become what you believe. Yeah.
So true.
And that's right. And it's those beliefs, and often they're negative beliefs from childhood as well that that you really they're not even, they're beliefs that you've taken on, you know, or others'
They're
expectations.
often, they're subconscious, so no matter what we say to ourselves underlying
Yeah.
until we
Yeah.
until we change that story
Yeah.
of our own story.
That's right.
It's about bringing,
Yeah, but we can, because, you know, we're in control of our thoughts, and we can change habits. We can change beliefs. It's not easy. We know it's not easy changing a habit, but we can create new neural linkages in our brains. We can do that. And the other thing I'd like to say is, when we talk about thoughts, it's not really just about the brain, but, you know, it's the way I see it is thoughts is all encompassing. It starts with that, but it's a whole body experience. And, you know, and in terms of manifesting things that you want, you know, thoughts are key. You know, it's visioning exercise, you know, imagining what you want to be. So using your imagination.
so true. And like,
Yeah.
if we focus on, you know, if we focus on negative, say even in relationships, if we're
Yeah.
constantly focusing on what they're not doing,
Yeah.
or, you know, it's like we can just see them for that. That's, oh, that person's no good because they are constantly doing this. But
Yeah.
if you actually take a step back and start looking at the positive things that
That's
somebody's
right.
doing, then you go, oh wow, they're an amazing person. Like, look what they do. You know, okay, yeah, they do a few negative things, but, you know, they're actually an amazing
Yeah.
person.
Absolutely. And the reality is that if you feel positive, it actually does change your physiology, as does feeling negative.
Oh, absolutely.
And, you know, you really need to think about, you know, like the difference between, you know, look at what your mindset is, and really, if it is in a negative space, to change it. And you talk about, you know, success. I don't think you can have success if you're in a negative mindset. Yeah, you know,
well,
so
you can. There's a lot of successful people out there with a negative mindset,
yeah,
but they
maybe.
use other people to get them there.
Yeah, that's right. And to me, I actually don't see that as success. I think, Rose, it was similar to what you were saying about, you know, like if they have to put someone else down to make themselves feel successful, then I don't see that as true success.
Oh no, there's got to be an
yeah,
alignment with who
that's
you're
right.
being,
Exactly.
not just
yeah.
what you're doing.
That's right.
So yeah, absolutely.
And I think when you mention everything starts with your mindset,
Yeah.
I totally agree with you,
Yeah.
because you know it's our thoughts, it's our belief that makes us who we are,
Yeah.
and makes us and gives us the courage to go to next step and take action. And as you know, our previous speaker Emily mentioned about the impact of your purpose in life, and genuinely feeling on and giving yourself that moment of thoughts that, all right, what am I feeling? What's my feeling telling me?
Yeah.
So if you align your thoughts with your feelings and you're in alignment with
That's
you
right.
as a human being, then you have understand you achieved your mission in life.
Yeah.
And then the next step is to go ahead and take some action.
Absolutely.
And during that taking action, you know, there will be some disappointments, there will be some challenges, there will be some people that we discussed that will come on your way that empower you or disempower you. But the actual thing is that to be focused on your direction where you want to go.
That's
And
right.
never give up on that. Because when you believe that, the only person who believes in your dream is you, nobody else.
Yeah, that's
And you
right.
have to envision that, and you have to live that every single day.
That's
If
right.
you want to work that, you're going to bring people to trust your belief. And sometimes you only have the vision to put it on the table. You have nothing else than just the vision. But if
Yeah.
your vision is strong enough, you attract people to come and live with your vision,
Yeah.
and create something new.
And that's right. And that's how it works. I mean, you know, in the thinking about it, and in the feeling, and in the taking action, it actually draws, like you said, other people to you, and you get the opportunities. I mean, that is the key to manifesting what you want, really.
Yeah. So I have a question as well,
Okay,
Antoinette.
yeah.
Thank you. It's been a great conversation so far. So what inspired you to start We Inspire Now Books and offer self-publishing services specifically for motivational adult and children's books?
Okay, I actually didn't intend on starting a publishing consultancy. As I said, you know, I made the decision to publish my own books, and then people just started asking me to help them publish. I've actually never promoted my business at all. It's just been people approaching me, and it's been wonderful. I've been able to help many authors now self-publish their books. And as I said before, my interest is in the motivational and inspirational self-help spiritual realm. And it's really important to me because I think that can make a huge difference to the reader.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the key. you know, like I've had readers, such wonderful feedback from them. Even today, someone contacted me earlier saying that they'd read my story In the Spirit Within. That's my latest anthology, and they said that she was in tears because she felt it was like her story. And that's wonderful when you can touch, you know, other people like that. So, and I know that some of the books that I've helped other people publish have just been amazing stories. Like, you know, people have written about their own lives. There was one about surviving the Black Saturday bushfires. You know, they're just wonderful, inspiring stories, and I think that's can make a huge difference to other people.
Yeah,
as well.
fantastic.
So wonderful.
you.
We have,
Thank you.
you know, lovely conversation with you,
Yeah,
with
thank you.
Antoinette, and we really appreciate your time being on the show today. Thanks
you.
for being here, and look forward to, you know, see some of your more books that coming up. I believe in the future.
Yeah,
life goes
no
on,
doubt
and
there will be.
yes, and
Yeah,
with
thank
your
you.
inspiration and passion, I'm sure that there's a you know, beautiful future ahead of you, and I'm sure that you know, you will be impacting a lot of people along the way too. So
Thank you.
thanks for your time being here.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
As we progress to the next section of our program, I would like Veronica to share with us her insight about the power of positive thinking, self-motivation, and having a clear goals. Thanks, Veronica.
Positive thinking, self-motivation, and having clear goals are powerful tools that can propel us towards success and help us reach our full potential. Positive thinking involves cultivating an optimistic outlook on life, even in the face of challenges. It enables us to see opportunities where others see obstacles, and it empowers us to approach problems with a solution-oriented mindset. Positive thinking not only improves our mental health, but also enhances our overall well-being, making us more resilient and better equipped to handle life's ups and downs. Self-motivation is the internal drive that pushes us to take action towards our goals. It is the fuel that keeps us moving forward, even when we're faced with setbacks or obstacles. Self-motivated individuals are able to stay focused on their goals, maintain a positive attitude, and persevere through difficult times. They are proactive in their approach to life, taking responsibility for their actions and striving to improve themselves every day. Having clear goals provide us with direction and purpose. When we know what we want to achieve, we are able to create a roadmap for success and stay motivated to work towards our goals. Clear goals also helps us stay focused and avoid distractions, allowing us to make progress towards our objectives more efficiently. In conclusion, positive thinking, self-motivation, and having clear goals are powerful tools that can help us reach our full potential. By cultivating a positive mindset, staying motivated, and setting clear goals, we can overcome obstacles, stay focused, and achieve success in all areas of our lives.
As we conclude tonight's show, I want to extend my heartfelt thanks to our incredible guest speakers, Emily Cower and also Antoinette Pellegrini, for their invaluable contributions. I also want to express my gratitude to our panelists for sharing their expertise to our viewers for joining us tonight. Before we sign off, I would like to remind you to save the dates for the launch of the Global Woman Peace Foundation on 1st of June. This event will be a night to remember, filled with celebration, excitement, entertainment, and much more. Tickets for the events are still available at glassevents.com. To our efforts in organizing multicultural events, conferences, networking sessions, educational and inspirational gatherings, and career development programs, we aim to promote empowerment, leadership, education, equality, and inclusion. Our events warmly welcome individuals of all genders, backgrounds, and walks of life. I want to leave you with an empowerment message. You have the power to create your own future. There is no dream too big, no goal too ambitious. With courage, determination, and a strong belief in yourself, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to. So dare to dream big, take decisive action, and never underestimate your own inner strengths. Thank you for joining us tonight. Until next time, stay strong and stay empowered. Goodbye for now.